Hare Krishna. I'll be reading about the pastimes of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. 1638 to 1708. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. I offer my respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnav devotees of the Lord. They are just like desire trees who can fulfill the desires of everyone, and they are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur was born in the year 1638 at Nadia in West Bengal. His Brahmin parents gave him a first-class education. Vishwanath had the good fortune of taking spiritual initiation from Radha Raman Chakravarti, who is in line of Narottam Das Thakur. He became expert at Sanskrit, poetry and lecturing. In debate, he could defeat anybody. While he was still a boy, Vishwanath's parents married him to a beautiful young girl. However, he had no interest in married life. Instead, he left home and journeyed to Vrindavan, where he stayed at Radha Kund. After some years, Vishwanath returned home to visit his family. His guru, Radharaman, spoke to Vishwanath, "My dear disciple, you have been away a long time, and we all missed you very much, especially your wife. You are full grown now, and should do your duty by sleeping tonight in the same bed as your wife." After the sun set, Vishwanath followed his guru's order. He entered his wife's bed, but all through the night he lay awake and chanted Krishna's names without stopping. The following day, news of this reached Radharaman's ear, and he was most pleased. He could understand his disciple was very serious about his spiritual life. Radharaman invited Vishwanath to move into his own house and to copy by hand the entire 18,000 verses of Bhagavad Puran. Vishwanath enthusiastically agreed. While writing, he would sit outside. When the scorching sun shone overhead, he was mysteriously shaded, as if by a miracle. As if in trance, he would simply continue writing. At one time, dark clouds rolled overhead, and as the storm broke, everywhere was drenched except the exact spot where Vishwanath was sitting. The townspeople saw that not even a single raindrop touched him, nor the Purana he was writing. They marveled at this and concluded that he must have been personally protected by God. Later, on the order of his guru, Vishwanath returned to Vrindavan. There he composed the famous Guruvashtaka prayer, which glorifies the genuine Guru. He wrote, "One who with great care and attention loudly sings this beautiful prayer during the hour before sunrise certainly obtains direct service to Lord Krishna at the time of death." Devotees of the Hare Krishna movement sing this song in their temples every morning. During his stay in Vrindavan, Vishwanath worshipped the deities of Radha Gokulanand. He also for some time worshipped Giriraj, the Govardhan Shila belonging to Raghunath Das Goswami and formerly owned by Lord Chaitanya. By the year 1700, the 6 Goswamis had all returned to the spiritual world. This left Vishwanath Chakravarti as the leader of the Vrindavan Vaishnavas. It was only a few years after Jeev Goswami left this world when serious trouble arose. There was a strong disagreement about what he had written. In most of Jiva's book, he followed Lord Chaitanya's teachings that Radha and Krishna were unmarried lovers. However, many of Jiva's followers were not spiritually advanced enough to appreciate the spotless purity of Radha and Krishna's love. For this reason, he encouraged them to worship Radha and Krishna as a married couple. Worshipping Radha and Krishna as a married couple saves immature devotees from making offenses, because only advanced devotees can properly understand this subject matter. Misunderstanding the purpose of Jeev Goswami, his followers started publicly denying that Radha and Krishna were in fact unmarried. As the Vaishnav leader, it was the job of Vishwanath Chakravarti to clear up this misunderstanding. In a public meeting, he quoted many scriptures providing beyond doubts that Radha and Krishna were actually not married to each other. In this way, his opponents were soundly defeated and the meeting was brought to close. This turn of events enraged the troublemakers so much that they hatched a plot to kill him. One of them knew that Vishwanath would daily go to a quiet clearing deep in the forest. So one day, armed with deadly weapons, they went to that very same place. But instead of them finding Vishwanath, a beautiful young girl appeared before them. She was picking flowers, and upon seeing the scholars, announced, "I am a maidservant of Radha, and am picking flowers so that she can offer a beautiful garland to Krishna." Then, in a moment, she mysteriously vanished, and Vishwanath appeared in her place. The murderer's scholars realized the young girl was actually the spiritual form of Vishwanath Chakravarti. Immediately, their hearts changed, realizing they'd made a grave mistake. Casting down their weapons and hanging their heads, they begged, "Please be merciful and forgive us." The saintly Vishwanath kindly forgave them, and they eventually became his faithful disciples. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur had hundreds of disciples. Of them, the most brilliant student was Baldev Vidyabhushan, who was famous for writing Govinda Bhashya. This masterpiece was dedicated to him by the Govindji deity of Jaipur. How that happened is told in the next part of the book, where we describe about Baldev Vidyabhushan. Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti is in disciplic line with Narottam Das Thakur, and in Krishna Leela has the identity of Vinod Manjari. His tomb is in the Radha Gokulanand temple courtyard in Vrindavan. Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur ki jai. Thank you. Hare Krishna.